very good afternoon and a warm welcome to News Analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV Abuja. Many thanks for joining us on today's program. The top stories: new refineries and NPCL may cut crude supply to Dangote plant. And on the Lakurawa Group, Nigeria and Niger joint operations continue amid diplomatic row. Wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Nana Shatima, and Governor's wives welcome new year babies. Details coming up shortly. Welcome back and thank you once again for joining us on today's program. My name is Amina Idris. Now the news in full. The federal government may cut its crude oil supply to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, reducing it from the current allocation of 3,000 barrels per day, 300,000 barrels per day, except if there is a surge in Nigeria's oil output. This reduction is expected to take place as part of adjustments under the government's Naira for Crude initiative following the coming on stream of the Warri and Port Harcourt refineries. This is aimed at boosting competition in the downstream sector, with the government facilitating this through the Naira for Crude initiative. Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters has reaffirmed its commitment to conducting joint operations and patrols with Nigerian troops despite the allegations leveled against Nigeria by the Niger's military leader, General Abdurrahman Chiani. According to reports, this is part of the federal government efforts to end the activities of terrorist groups like Lakurawa in the northwest and the northern part of the border states between Nigeria and Niger. It will be recalled that Chiani recently accused Nigeria of allowing France to use the territory as a staging ground for destabilizing his country. He further alleged that the French government offered Nigeria funds to establish a military base in Borno State. In response, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu dismissed the allegations. The federal government, in a statement issued by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, also denied Chiani's accusations, describing them as unfounded and a diversionary tactic aimed at deflecting attention from his administration's failures. And in the meantime, wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Nana Shatima, as well as the wives of Lagos, Kwara, Anambra, and Rivers State governors on Wednesday visited state hospitals to welcome the first babies born on New Year's Day. Also, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, unveiled and celebrated the 2025 Surulere Baby of the Year at the Baja Matal and Child Care Center, Surulere, Lagos, where the baby of the year, named Ikiatu Okika Chiamaka, was born at about 12 a.m. on Wednesday. Mrs. Shatima, representing the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, welcomed Abuja's first baby of the year 2025 at the Asokoro District Hospital. The news agency of Nigeria reports that Favor Stephen Ojon, a baby girl, was born to the family of Mr. Ojon Oyimbo and Mrs. Choma Ojon at exactly 12:27 a.m. on Wednesday, January 1st, weighing 3.6 kg. Mrs. Shatima also received other babies born at the hospital, including the first baby boy of the year 2025, Zim Chikachim Ejiofo, born to the family of Mr. Ejiofo Umori and Mrs. Delight at about 7:14 a.m., weighing 3 kg. It is still news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV Abuja. Still to come, Abia State Governor stops PTA and other levies in schools. Details after a quick break. Good to know you're still with us, and this is news analysis coming to you on Politics and Business TV. Moving on, the Abia State Governor Alex Oti has announced a ban on all forms of payment in primary and secondary school across the state. In his New Year address, Oti underscored his administration's resolve to safeguard the future of the children. To ensure smooth school operations, the governor unveiled a new financial system for public schools. The governor laid out his administration's plans for 2025, emphasizing the urgency of his government's development agenda. Oti revealed that 35% of the state's entire budgetary outlay would be directed to education and health, highlighting the role these sectors play in Abia's transformation. And on the foreign scene, a Tesla Cybertruck exploded outside the hotel belonging to the United States President-elect Donald Trump in Las Vegas, killing at least one person and wounding 7, police said on Wednesday. U.S. President Joe Biden said authorities were investigating any links between the Las Vegas explosion and an attack earlier on Wednesday in New Orleans, where a truck plowed into a crowd of New Year's revelers, killing at least 15. Video footage shows the stainless steel truck parked at the hotel entrance before bursting into flames, followed by smaller explosions appeared similar to fireworks. And for some sports news, let's join Abel Sunday for updates.
Good afternoon and welcome to P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. The Chan Eagles have qualified for the 2024 African Nations Championship (CHAN) after defeating Ghana's Black Galaxy 3-1 in the final qualifying match. This victory marks Nigerians' return to the CHAN tournament after a 6-year absence. The team's impressive performance was led by Sadiq Ismail, who opened the scoring in the 18th minute, followed by a quick-fire goal from Mboka Jr. and Isaac Xavier. Although the Ghana managed to score a consolation goal in the 71st minute, the Chan Eagles held firm to secure their spot in the tournament. The National Sport Commission (NSC) chairman Malam Shehu Duku expressed his delight over the team's qualification, stating that it is aligned with the NLC vision for sport development in Nigeria. He also emphasized the importance of a functional domestic league in driving the sport economy. The Chan Eagles will now prepare for the 8th edition of the Chan tournament, scheduled to take place from February 1st to 28th, 2025 across Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. Now to the foreign scene. Manchester City is back on track after defeating Leicester City 2-0 in the latest Premier League match. This win marks a significant turnaround for City, who had only won one of their previous 13 matches in all competition. Sevilla opened the scoring in the 21st minute, converting the rebound after Leicester City goalkeeper saved Phil Foden's initial shot. Erling Haaland then ended his goal drought with a header in the 74th minute, securing the win for Manchester City. That's all for sports today. I'm Abel Sunday.
Still news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV. Moving on to today's focus, which is on how micro, small and medium enterprises performed in 2024. Small and medium enterprises play a crucial role in Nigeria's economy, contributing approximately 49.5% to the national GDP while driving job creation and poverty alleviation. However, the sector faces significant challenges, including structural bottlenecks related to infrastructure, regulatory inadequacies, and access to financing. According to NBS, the total number of SMEs as of 2020 stood at 39,654,885, and the numbers have drastically grown since micro enterprising constituting about 96.9% and SMEs 3.1%. Government has continuously introduced incentives into the sector, but with no commensurate results. Why are government incentives not producing the desired results, and what should they do differently to grow this sector are some of the questions we'll be asking our guest, Oluwole Joshua, a business analyst, joining us shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now we're going to be discussing the performance of SMEs, small and medium enterprises, and how they performed in the year in review. Joining me is Mr. Wale Joshua, a chartered accountant and business analyst, who will be discussing today's topic. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Wale Joshua.
Good afternoon. Nice for having me to the compliment of this season.
Thank you for joining us on today's program. As we wrap up the 2024 financial year, we want to understand the financial performance and landscape of SMEs. As an economist and a business analyst, what would you say is the general overlook of 2024 financial performance with regards to micro, small, and medium enterprises?
SMEs in Nigeria are not insulated from the economic turbulence we are facing as a nation, and SMEs they suffer the direct impact of these policies, part of which is the post COVID-19 learning curve. SMEs were forced to learn some attributes from the COVID-19, which led them to an improved AI technology, fintech, and virtual meeting itself. So this digital transformation has forced MSMEs to increase their cost of doing business, cost of meeting, cost of maintaining some software that drives the business. So we still have many other challenges which forced most SMEs into the negative profitability level. Part of which is the finance cost. The cost of finance went up drastically. Apart from the cost of capital, which is way more above 25%, we have the cost push inflation there, which the SMEs are battling, and knowing fully well that Nigeria is an import-dependent nation, so we faced double tragedy of inflation and foreign currency devaluation. So we MSMEs found it difficult for that year, and going through the technological influence on the part of businesses, MSMEs had to adopt some platforms, which has to do with fintech and artificial intelligence. So we have the technological problem and exchange rate issues.
Yes.
And more predominantly, we have the the power outage, the fall in national grid. The national grid collapsed almost more than 5 times in the year,
Yes.
making it a challenging year for the MSMEs in terms of energy, and forcing us towards sustainable energies, which has to do with batteries and lithium batteries and the likes.
Exactly.
So MSMEs had to look into a dynamic environment, forcing them to change strategies a lot.
Yes,
so
and
we have the
invest more
skills
into their
deficits
business.
yeah. We have skills deficits too. Skill deficits has to do with the Japa syndrome. Most MSMEs found it difficult to hold their skilled labors. So most skills labors they jump from one jobs to the other, which is rational for any human being to do. They jump from one employment to the other in search for greener pastures.
Exactly.
So MSMEs found it difficult to hold the ground and wait in respect of this. So in a nutshell, it has been a challenging year for the MSMEs, and the government economic policy of subsidy removers and the currency flotation has been a dynamic one.
All right,
Mindfully,
so
but that it came sharply and without any preparation. So
exactly.
MSMEs are in the eyes of the storm.
All right, so moving on, as a business analyst, what is the average mortality rate of SMEs recorded since 2020, and what do you think are the recurrent business challenges?
SMEs in Nigeria, they form 64% of Nigeria. They contribute to 64% of Nigerians' GDP. So it is evidence from that MSMEs has reduced, because in the pre-APC era, we have SMEs contributing to above 80% of Nigerians' GDP. So MSMEs have found it difficult and challenging in holding their weights. So they've reduced, most of which may be transformative reduction, which means MSME is growing into a larger company, or a debt reduction. So the mortality rate has been between 10 and 20%, depending on the period of judgment. But on the average, MSMEs are dying within a 15% average rate. So it's a known fact that most MSMEs doesn't survive their third year birthday. So if you can survive the third year birthday as MSMEs, it's likely that you may survive the 10 years birthday. So MSMEs are finding it very difficult because of the corporate governance, and because of many other things which came with the government factor. So corporate governance made it difficult to sustain most of the MSMEs. So if we don't look at the corporate governance, and if we leave the MSMEs to float on themselves, they may die before their third year birthday. And the government policy in terms of tax drive,
Exactly.
in terms of revenue drive, is equally killing the MSMEs. We have 3 tiers of government looking into one MSMEs for their source of funding, and they come with such force that you may not have any choice than to give them a listening ear. So this is killing the profits of MSMEs, and the government has to look into the ease of doing business in order to allow MSMEs grow. So we are looking at the tax reform bills and many other things that are expected to give MSMEs a kind of leverage. But how sincere the government is, we don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about the multiplicity of taxes witnessed in 2024, and of course the poor power supply. I mean, the national grid, like you rightly said, collapsed multiple times in the year in review. What are the effects of this on SMEs, and what kind of policies can counteract these issues?
It's increasing cost of doing business. increase in cost of doing business and investment in energy equipment. Because instead of relying on the national grid, you may want to switch to solar.
Exactly.
You may want to switch to many other sources of power supply, which may not augur well with the profitability of the business.
Profits.
Yes. So MSMEs found challenging and difficult for the year, and it will go down in the history of Nigeria that 2024 was a difficult year for both individual, household, and SMEs in Nigeria. So we are looking forward to 2025 and what it has to give the SMEs. But 2024 was challenging, and you know that businesses spend from their reserves. So if businesses will spend from their reserves, we are looking to government to show up their plans in making sure that SMEs assess the financial capital easier than in 2024, so that what they cannot get from their reserve, what they cannot get from their equity, they will get it from the capital market. So we are looking at we are looking at equity financing, and we are looking at venture financing. We are looking at a reduced interest financing for MSMEs. If we don't reduce the interest finance, MSMEs will find it difficult to thrive in the face of inflation, because to control inflation, central bank has increased their interest rates multiple times, and they've kept it above 25%, making it difficult for MSMEs to thrive in that situation.
All right, so as we welcome the new year, what can these business owners do within their own ecosystem to address these challenges?
Business owners must do many things in order to address this challenge, which has to do with accepting artificial intelligence instead of adopting the horizontal growth, which means growth in management, growth in levels of management. They grow in collaboration and in the use of artificial intelligence rather than growing horizontally. They grow vertically in collaboration, and they make sure that the tax reform should favor MSMEs. Government should make sure that tax reform should favor MSMEs in the sense that we are looking at a reduced tax rate in terms of CIT, but we are not looking at the impact of VAT. VAT means that SMEs are almost like the final consumers of these products, and what you are taking away by giving them in 0% taxation, you are taking it away from 10% and 12% VAT going forward. So we are looking at withholding tax reforms that favors the SMEs, and we are looking at reduced interest rates. We are looking at increased export opportunities, which has to do with storage facilities. MSMEs may produce at the period of increase, in period of surplus, but they should be opportune to store their products in a way that will give them comparative advantage when these things are scarce. Most of MSMEs are agricultural. They are from agricultural sector, which means that they will produce well in the rainy season, and they will have to store through the dry season to have their sales bumper sales leverage over the year. So we should be looking at government venturing into this value chain, and not the price control as debunked by the president, as chosen by the president to be counterproductive. So MSMEs should look at collaboration rather than building a tall management structure. They should collaborate, and they should look at what African Free Trade Zone offers in order to trade outside the country. When your currency is flat, when your currency is devalued, it's always good to do export. So most of the MSMEs should look at exporting their goods to earn the benefit of foreign exchange rates. So then we should look at our refinery. We should look at building MSMEs. We should look at building SMEs around our refineries, so that the products from our refineries are taken up by these SMEs, and they are converted to products which we can see in town. We should look at at where the product that Nigerians need. When we see a vehicle, we look at their maintenance. What do we import from China? What do we import from India? Can we produce it in our country, taking advantage of the refineries? Can we produce plastics? Can we produce insecticides? Can we produce herbicides from our refinery, from the products of our refineries? We have 3 refineries functioning in Nigeria now, so we should be able to build our economy around these refineries. We should be able to build companies around these refineries to take advantages of the large businesses.
All right, so as a roundup, as a business analyst, how would you describe the impact of social media on SMEs in 2024 and in years to come?
Yeah, social media has been a leverage point to SMEs because they've been able to make much sales on social media using the social media sales and social media has exposed most of the SMEs to fraudsters. So why carefully using the social media, MSMEs can leverage on social media in order to grow their sales, in order to grow their awareness, and in order to source for information, and in order to do international sales. So if we can do this, social media can be a leverage point for SMEs to try.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Oluwole Joshua, a business analyst, a chartered accountant, and a tax administrator, for your time. We appreciate.
Thank you very much. Nice for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on today's program. My name is Idris Amina. Bye for now.